So the main reason I liked the diamonds from heaven is because you found out that the up and out analogy that all the spiritual traditions have said is not complete. And I had a feeling that shouldn't be it. Like we're moving out of Earth and that's it. And what was the main purpose? It's kind of disgracing or downgrading the value of Earth. And I didn't think that was right. So, but why do you think that all the spiritual traditions couldn't find out about the future human? Stop there.
You know, my sense is this. About 2000 BC, 1500 BC, the yogic disciplines and the early shamanic disciplines became developed enough that they began to have first-person experiential contact with what I would call the mother universe, the spiritual universe that gives birth to the physical universe. And when you make contact with the spiritual universe, with the mother universe, I mean, it's ecstatic, it's blissful, it's joy. I mean, it's home, it's where we come from. And so naturally, I think it naturally leads to the conclusion that this is where we belong, this is where we're from, this is where we're going back to, this is what my longing is for. And that makes complete sense. But that develops a theology of return. But that leaves the whole expedition of creation unexplained and unaccounted for. Now we live in a different world. Now we have an understanding of how many billions of years the universe has been in the process of self-manifesting. Now we have an understanding of the quantum void out of which the universe is springing, being rejuvenated continuously. Now we have a sense of the billions of years that human beings and other life forms will be continuing to evolve into the future. So the whole idea that we achieve realization and leave becomes increasingly inadequate to the true beauty and magnitude of the creation that we are in. Then with the evidence for reincarnation has gotten stronger and stronger, so that the early seers saw it and understood that we were here more than once, but they put us on this trajectory out. Now, once we have reincarnation, evolution teaches us that the world is not static, the world is changing and evolving, becoming more complex. Reincarnation tells us we are not static, we are not who we think we are changing and evolving. Once we have those pieces in place, then we have the deep spiritual realizations that the masters have achieved when they made breakthrough to spiritual reality and they began to describe the way the world really is underneath the way the world appears to be. Now we begin to understand that they weren't sent as saviors to liberate us into this great beyond. They were the prototypes. They were the early human beings to achieve spiritual realization. And in the early years, we could not imagine that everybody could achieve this state because there were too many brutes. It was just too hard. But now I think we can envision the possibility that every human being deserves and is in the process of growing into this condition. And now we come to this point in history where we're having to come to terms with our past. We're having to see how estranged we are from each other, how much we have alienated each other, how much we are estranged from the earth, how much damage we've been doing, and we can't keep going in this direction. We simply can't. We're beginning to understand how the leave it behind theologies have actually unintentionally have contributed to the abuse of the earth because the earth is not valued as the body of the divine. The earth is simply rental property. We don't own it. We're not part of it. So these things are coming together, and I think it's laying the framework, particularly once we began looking at the pictures of space, once we had the vision of reincarnation, once we were really looking at the magnitude of the beauty of the universe, and seeing the intelligence of the universe. And now these psychedelic substances are giving us the experience of the knowing of the universe, the in consciousness of the universe. All the pieces are coming together, I think, to help us understand we are growing up. We've been children in this massive universe. We're about to become adults. We're about to grow up. When we grow up, we will become our true soul age. We will really become our true soul presence. And with that soul presence comes the deep memory, and the deep memory of relationships, and the deep contact with the divine, with the consciousness of the universe. And this is a quantum jump, a flip into the beginning of a new story, the beginning of a truly new story. I think the religions, all the religions, bless them all, they carried us from where we were 4,000 years ago to where we have come to now. And they helped us mature, but there were several casualties. Women were casualties in all of these patriarchal religions, and the earth was a casualty to all of these patriarchal religions, and those two are connected because women are closely associated with the earth, and therefore what is done to the earth is done to women and vice versa. Now everything pivots. We come back to the earth. Women ascend into their power. They claim their wisdom. Now the family is coming together. All the races of the world are coming together. All the religions of the world are coming together. We just cannot continue with the small minds that we had before. Now we're coming into something large, something massive. Just at this time when we are hitting the terrible consequences of global climate shift, of the pollutions that we've been developing in our industrial complex. So I think we are really entering labor now. We have come to labor, and we really are giving birth to something absolutely fantastic in history. So we have generations to do it. It's still to come, but it is the work of the hour.